This is a cast iron packing plate that they use in shipping containers. This one is old school well pump handle that they pump water up out of the ground. And want to check them out, make sure that they're real metal.
Oh, that's the real deal for sure.
Push on it, make sure it's real.
Push on. Yeah, I can't breathe.
Basically, we figured out shortcuts to generate more electricity inside the body, and then focus it to make a shield and hold it really hard so I can't push it. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold it right there.
All right, guys, we got Mike Zeleznick here today, founder of Vibra Vision, and we're going to start off with a demo today, aren't we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So what do we got going on here?
Well, one of the things that we're able to do with our abilities that we gain from practicing this are protect our body, and we're able to break things that ordinarily shouldn't be broken. So this is a cast iron packing plate that they use in shipping containers, and it's real metal.
Yeah.
This one is old school well pump handle that they pump water up out of the ground. And want to check them out, make sure that they're real metal.
Oh, that's the real deal for sure. Yeah, this is metal, guys. I will confirm this is metal.
Do you want to push on it, make sure it's real?
Push on. Yeah, I can't breathe. Yeah, that's real.
So basically, we figured out shortcuts to generate more electricity inside the body, and then focus it to make a shield, and
Holy crap.
no pain and no injuries.
Clean in half. That is crazy. Well done. And we got this one, right?
Yeah. Do you want to do this one a little different way? You want to help me with this one?
Sure. So hold it like...
So let's do this. Move these out of the way. And then let's put this up, and we're going to try to break it in a way just in case there's any flying pieces, nothing hits anything else. All right, and then, yep, that's perfect. And then hold it really hard so I can't push it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold it right there.
Wow. Everyone alive back there? That was a pretty close call.
That was.
Damn. Three
So-
pieces. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah, 3 pieces, guys, and we almost killed someone, but...
Well, that's why we aimed it this way, just in case. Safety first.
Yeah, safety first.
All right, guys. So we got Mike here after that demo, which was incredible. I can't wait to learn how that's even possible. But could you start off explaining with what VibraVision is?
Well, VibraVision is actually one part of an ancient martial art that comes from the royal family of Java, Indonesia. And it was kept secret and passed down from the king to the heir for 11 generations over like 500 years. And basically, it awakens the electricity inside of our body, and then with using some special meditations that are basically the shortcuts to unlocking the parts of our brain that activate these things and give us the ability to use them, we can develop like real life superhuman powers, like real life Jedis, and we can do all kinds of things like seeing without our eyes, or protecting our body and breaking things, or healing other people, or even moving things without touching them. There's a lot of different things that are possible, and it awakens our real life superpowers.
That's interesting. So we have electricity in our bodies right now.
They measure our heartbeats, our brain waves, everything. We are an electrical generator. And with any electrical generator, there's also magnetism that's developed, a magnetic field that comes from that. And we basically amplify that energy. So we develop more electricity and more magnetism. And we have all the shortcuts to making this system work, because it's really all just a big piece of tech. We are a biotechnical being. And as we tune into the biological things that create the results, we can start adjusting the tech just like anything, like a TV or a phone or anything else.
Interesting. So how did you find out about this? How old were you?
Well, I was about 19. I had been involved in other martial arts when I was a young kid. I saw, ninja movies and mid 80s chopsaki flicks and things like that with the mouth dubbing, stop, you dog, I kill you. And I was really inspired, but things didn't work like that in real life. And I studied a lot of other martial arts. By the time I found Merpati Putih, I had actually attained 2 third-degree black belts and a second-degree black belt, and I attained rank in 23 other martial arts up to brown belt. I trained police academies and security forces, military personnel, but I was always looking for that mind over matter and not just the martial art portion of it. But
All right, guys, shout out to LinkedIn, today's sponsor. As a B2B marketer, you know how noisy the ad space can be. If your message isn't targeted to the right audience, it just disappears into the noise. Luckily, with LinkedIn ads, you could precisely reach the professionals who are more likely to find your ad relevant. With LinkedIn's targeting capabilities, you can reach them by job title, industry, company, and more. Stand out with LinkedIn ads and start converting your B2B audience into high-quality leads today. LinkedIn ads allows you to build the right relationships, drive results, and reach your customers in a respectful environment. You'll have direct access and build relationships with decision makers. There's over 1 billion members on their platform, 180 million senior level executives and 10 million C-level executives. You'll be able to drive results with targeting and measurement tools built specifically for B2B. In technology, LinkedIn generated 2 to 5x higher return on ad spend than other social media platforms. You'll work with a partner who respects the B2B world you operate in. 79% of their content marketers said LinkedIn produces the best results for paid media. Me personally, I've found some great podcast guests, and it's been an incredible platform for finding out new information. Start converting your B2B audience into high quality leads today. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/social to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/social. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
what the old wise masters had that nobody seemed to have in today's day and age. It was all woo-woo, and there was myths and legends, but no real demonstrations of it. And then basically ordered a course out of a black belt magazine that said amazing chi in 2 weeks guaranteed or your money back. And at that point, you know, any people that I had found that had some of these abilities, they said, you got to go to a cave or a monastery for 35 or 40 years. And you got to do what I did in prayer and meditation and no movies, no McDonald's, no girls. And I was, you know, a young man. I was, I don't think that's really going to work for me. But when we found this, actually, several days later, my brother saw a blind person, a blind lady with a seeing eye dog, and she was walking down the street, and her dog didn't lead her around the traffic signal, and she did a face plant right into it and fell over on the ground. And, you know, traffic's whizzing by, and he was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if they could teach blind people. And so we went through a long period of trying to research and find them. And when we finally did, we invited them to come over and demonstrate for the schools for the deaf and the blind. Because at the core of all of this is really, how can we make the world a better place? I'd already had my fill of martial arts, and they're awesome, and they're good. All martial arts are good for all people. But what I was really looking for was the ability to help people, how to heal others, how to do those amazing things that these wise masters out of Buddhism and Taoism were able to do. Also, monks and yogis out of Hinduism. But I couldn't find anything that fit my lifestyle. And then we introduced them, we brought them over, and I had the most amazing experience of having a blind man come into my house and go upstairs and put all his stuff away and come downstairs and make his own food and then come down and, you know, eat it in front of the TV, watching TV with me. And I was like, what? If I could really make a difference in somebody's life, you know, I was afraid of the dark when I was a kid. And
I was too.
Well, we're afraid of what we don't know.
Yeah.
And when I thought of, you know, if I closed my eyes and I could never open them again, and that's this guy's reality. But then he learned this, and, you know, I asked him, what was this like for you? And he said, well, for 30 years, I was completely dependent on my mom because there's no social programs. There's no any type of support for them over there. And Indonesia's a very dangerous place. There's no ADA compliance. Everything is dangerous.
Free for all.
It really is. And anyway, he's like, well, after I learned VibraVision, I rode a bike through a crowd of 5,000 people and found my mom, took a picture of her with a Polaroid camera. And when I handed it to her, I said, Mom, I'm free. I can do this myself now. And thank you for taking care of me. And now he's, you know, fully independent with his own business, his own family, all of the different things.
Incredible.
Total. Well, I felt like, okay, this is worth it. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this happen and bring it to the West. And so that started an odyssey of bringing it through the medical and scientific proving grounds and saying, hey, this isn't woo-woo. This is wow. It's real. And we can do it over and over. It's a science and a technology that we can do in the midst of this busy, chaotic, daily Western world that we do. And it does so many amazing things for us. You know, being blind is just the very tip of the iceberg. That's one application of it. But it totally changes people's lives.
Incredible. And there was probably a ton of doubt when you first brought it over, right?
I was born at night, but not last night. I'm a very logical and scientific person. And so as we went through this process, obviously getting the proof and pulling in, some of the top neuroscientists, some of the top doctors in the world and saying, oh, we can measure this. And yeah, this is real. That was the first step to being accepted into the Western world because, so many times over here, we will do things that don't make any sense. And yet on the other side of things, we will not even try things unless we know exactly what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how science is made by empirical evidence and test and repeat, test and repeat, test and repeat. But yet the greatest breakthroughs in our technologies are made by very stubborn individuals like Edison that go 10,000 times with a vision and knowing something can happen, but not having the evidence yet.
Right.
We're bridging the gap between both worlds and really bringing science and spirit together in a fast way that is fun.
That's
That's
cool.
the biggest thing that people won't do it if it's not fun, even if there's a massive gain to it. So
That's true.
making it into a way that we get to all enjoy ourselves, enjoy the journey, and the destination shows up before we know it. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, making it fun. You were showing me some videos of how the training works, right? And there was a lot of kids there in the videos.
Actually, kids are easier to train just because they're more malleable in their brain waves. They're already at a place that we meditate to get to. But we also train adults because, like I said, this is for everybody. It's not just for blind people. Like in Indonesia, it was held secret for 450 years, and they released it to the Indonesian public in the mid-'60s in the middle of a civil war that was terrible. The military overthrew the government. And, at this time, the royal family was not in power. They weren't the ruling members anymore. There was a dictator in power, and the military overthrew the government. They killed 500,000 people in 6 months. And
Jeez.
the royal family at that time said, geez, we need to let this out. We need to show our people, because if they could see what we see, they'd see that we're all connected. And when I hurt you, I also hurt me. And so this is a very amplified version of that. And within 3 years, they completely changed their political landscape and everything that was going on over there, ended the war. And this is actually a cultural heritage and part of the Indonesian culture. They literally use this technology as standard training in every branch of their military, the special forces, even the Secret Service, protect their president and, police. They do all kinds of things. They use it for search and rescue, where they have all kinds of different natural disasters that take place because they're in the ring of fire with volcanoes and earthquakes and tsunamis and landslides and all kinds of different things that they send our soldiers in, and they're able to locate people that are still trapped underneath. It's like having X-ray vision. They
Wow.
can find people that are buried in those landslides and in those, when the houses collapse and all whatnot, because they don't have a whole lot of dogs over there.
Yeah.
It's a Muslim nation. So this does a very different job where they can just go through the village and mark everybody that's still alive. Everybody digs them out. And it's really, it's a humanitarian effort to make the world a better place. And it's very tight into their culture.
That is interesting. So if someone's underground, how are you able to sense them?
Well, everything that's alive or everything that is physical actually is made up of atoms. And those atoms are always going to be at a frequency that is vibrating the protons and neutrons and electrons in them. Like Nikola Tesla and Einstein both said, if you want the secrets to the universe, think in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy. And just in this way, where modern day technology, we use radio waves, we use microwaves, we use satellite TV, we use all these different kinds of waves that we don't see. Everything is energy. And you can tell the difference between a living and a non-living being, even through the dirt. So they're able to do a lot of different things. Actually, there was a experiment they did where they went to the Jakarta the Indonesian Nuclear Institute in Jakarta, and with a Geiger counter, they were able to find the radioactive material from 6 inches. But our members were able to find it from 60 yards,
Whoa.
180 feet, and tell the intensity of it, the density, and all of the different waves that were coming out of it. Because truly, we are the technology. They say that Einstein, I guess, said that we only use 10% of our brain capacity. So what's that other 90% doing? Well, one of the top neuroscientists that I work with, he basically said that every second our brain is capable, or I should say the system is capable of downloading, and it's constantly downloading 40 billion bits of information from all of our surroundings in the universe. But our brain can only handle 2,000. And in a nutshell, what the royal family figured out how to do 500 years ago and then perfected through training this is how to connect the dots and flip all the switches in our system to basically make a much bigger antenna and then start tuning in just like a TV or a radio station and activating all those parts of our brain that don't usually be used. And it opens up all these other things. It's like all of a sudden, if you could see a brand new color, if you were colorblind and all of a sudden you could see color,
Yep.
the world becomes a much more vibrant and fun place.
Yeah, that movie Limitless, right?
We're just getting started.
I hope so.
Like I said, it's standard training in the military and they use it for everything over there, but the Western world is very different. And there's a lot of amazing things yet to come and help make this world a better place because we're in need of that. We've been doing a lot of damage and a lot of things that aren't going to support us in the future. And in order to heal the world, we need to be aware of where the problems are and be able to fix them. And this is the key. Like I said, we're the technology.
Right. So that's where intuition comes in, right? Training your intuition with this.
Well, the intuition really is our connection to all of those other informations and energies that we don't yet know about. They're part of that. Well, 40 billion bits is what the neuroscientist told me we're always downloading. But we can only process 2,000 through our normal 5 senses and our mental capacity. So if you think of that like a bank account, do you want 40 billion or do you want 2,000? Intuition is inside of all that 40 billion bits that's happening all the time. It's telling us, like screaming at us at 120 decibels like a jet engine, but it's on a frequency that we're not hearing. It's like a dog whistle that we're not catching. So as soon as we adjust the microphone and we start listening to that, we start receiving those other signals. And, breaking steel this is just for a reproducible experience that we can say my energy is either in the right place at the exact right point in time or it's not. And we can learn from that because it's a feedback generator. And if you have feedback, you can adjust and you can keep tuning things in much faster than if you're just shooting in the dark, so to speak, or going without any type of indication of what's happening. But this is, like I said, just like the tip of the iceberg. If you're not walking down the street every day, like depressed, thinking, why can't I break steel with my body? That's totally cool because I wasn't in that boat either. I'd already had more than enough of my share of martial arts stuff. I was really looking to be able to help people. And when we're able to demonstrate this is real, there's something else other than our physical muscles going on, and we're not big monstrous guys. You see smaller, older Indonesian ladies doing stuff way bigger than this. It's just a good indication that there's something else that we can't see that's going on.
Absolutely.
And then we start taking that out into the other portions of our reality, because I don't get attacked by steel bars every day. That's not part of my reality. But there are many times throughout the day that I need to be more aware and see things from a different perspective and a different light. And it basically makes my life a heck of a lot more fun and more magical. Always leave room for magic because that's the fun part.
Yeah, I bet. I've seen videos of Asian people punching stuff with one finger and breaking boards.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good indication that there's something else other than just physical going on there, right?
Yeah.
We use the steel and stone and concrete and ice and all kinds of different things. Sometimes, I can share some videos of you or of me breaking these steel things with one finger.
Wow.
Or putting it into a newspaper or like my belt or something flexible and putting the energy into it, making it hard and once again, just a test because the feedback of if we're doing it right or not, that's the biggest value that we can have to actually attaining growth.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes it fun. But we don't actually do the steel breaking as part of VibraVision as a normal program until you get to more advanced levels. This is from the full martial art.
Mm-hmm.
But VibraVision is just one piece of that. And it's the part that if for anybody out there that's not, that I don't want to do that, you don't have to do that.
Right.
It's just another way that we can show there's something else going on here.
Absolutely. So how does the seeing work? Like if you closed your eyes right now, would you be able to see me?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot more that we can do with it as well. Basically in a nutshell, we have these other sensors in our body, and just for fun, let's just say this. In the dead center of your brain, you actually have another eye, which different systems through ancient technology have called our third eye, our pineal gland.
Yeah.
And inside the pineal gland, there's actually the exact same the exact same tissues as in your eyeballs, with rods and cones and the vitreous fluid and all the things. And it's even wired to our visual cortex. But it never sees the light of day. You know, the way that our eyes work is light is reflecting off of something and then bouncing back. It gets caught, it goes back to our visual cortex, processes, and then creates an image for us of what these lenses saw. But you have a lens in the dead center of your head, never sees light. Why would that be?
That is interesting. So it's right here. Like if we took
it's actually in the middle. It's like the nucleus of your brain.
Oh, wow. It's in the brain?
Inside, insulated with all that brain tissue in your skull and everything else. And I know that sometimes, you know, I feel like an airhead, or I know people that is there anything going on in between their ears? But light will never get to the center of your brain, but you have another eye there.
So that's why when people lose vision in their two eyes, there's still that potential to see out of their third eye.
Yes. Actually, I have students that have prosthetic eyes, and they literally can take out their prosthetic eyes and then go do obstacle courses and shooting targets and do all the things. There's no way to cheat on that one. And we don't want to cheat. I mean, literally, the blind mission is our passion project. That's what we're here to do. But we're all blind in some way. And so when I look at, you know, how does this really affect normal people that have vision? Well, when we talk about intuition, you know, some of the biggest questions that all of us face in our life that are constantly walking around with this blessing of being alive is, who am I and why am I here? Where did I come from and where am I going? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
And when I look at this eternal question, there's a lot of different answers out there that are delivered by a lot of different people. I don't really like delivering the answers because I believe that people don't need to be saved. What they need is knowledge of and access to their own power. Because 99% of the answers are in here anyway. Your reality is different than my reality. We're living two totally different dreams, so to speak. And as we connect the dots, basically, we do special breathing exercises that generate more electricity in our body and change our metabolism to create more electricity. We start creating the bigger electric and magnetic field. It's interacting with everything else in our surroundings. And then we unlock the parts of the brain that this energy is actually wired to. So it's basically like turning on a phone. You know, let's say you had your phone sitting on the counter and you wave your hand over it and it pops up and shows you the time, but you're not actually using the phone. And for so long, these ancient technologies that we've had, they're kind of like that. Hey, when I wave my hand over, something happens, but you don't actually know how to use the thing. What we figured out how to do is say, oh, well, you push this button and then you unlock it and now it gets a signal and now you can go to the App Store or the Play Store and what kind of game do you want to play? Or do you want a calculator? Or do you want Instacart or whatever? You can do anything with this piece of technology. You just have to get online and actually have the connection.
Yeah.
In this way, you know, breaking stuff or seeing with our eyes closed, they're all manifestation and application for actually creating the greater connection, which I think is what most people are really searching for in their lives, to understand who they really are, knowledge of self, and to know that they're on their path. And it's quite an interesting thing when I look at massive scale businesses that are led by numbers, because numbers are very, very important. You know, in our technological age, the scientific age that's come over of math, numbers never lie. No matter where you go in our world or the universe, numbers are always the same. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And with that in mind, there's also this other language that is also completely universal. No matter where you go, everybody always speaks it the same, and that's love. You basically have the spirit and the science. They're like 2 feet on the same body that need to walk together, but they need to be in balance because you can only have one at a time unless you're doing like a bunny hop, right?
Yeah.
So when we put these two together and we're in balance, we have access to all of the scientific knowledge, all of the logic, but we also have the ability to feel at a much higher level because this only gets 2,000 bits.
Yeah.
That gets 40 billion bits. And, you know, I have so many very successful professionals that end up coming to me for intuition training, because rather than being just a gut feeling or an instinct, or what we experience as intuition, meaning, you know, how many times have a choice to make, because life is full of choices. It's just decision to decision to decision. What do you want for lunch? What are you going to wear? Should you buy this car? Should you make this business deal? Whatever it is. Our stress comes from the logic loops of weighing out options and outcomes and saying, what should I choose? And then getting paralysis by analysis and getting frozen. With that in mind, what if we could feel in a different way, this is the way that I'm supposed to go? And as I mentioned before, how many times do we have a decision to make? We make the decision, and then later we're like, dang it, I knew I should have chosen this. I should have done that. Well, maybe it's 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years later that the result comes back and you're like, oh gosh, I knew I should have. But by that time, your feedback generator is long gone. You cannot feel what actually happened in the moment of decision.
Interesting.
And what we do is we basically connect all the technology and then give you the perfect playground and training ground that is a feedback generator. That's not like braking. You don't ever have a negative outcome. You can't hurt yourself doing this stuff, but it's over and over and over and over. So you get to do it 100 times in a row and really start keying in on those feelings.
Wow.
And as you start creating the feelings, then it starts translating into another language that is giving you usable, very clear information. And well, just as an example, I have a couple of my students that together tag teamed up, and they made it over $250 million.
Holy crap.
Business decisions over 3 months. And
3 months?
In 3 months, $250 million, 100% accurate. That's just one. I mean, I have so many, but I'll just say, what would it be like if you could know where your path is and experience the magic of being guided in your perfect outcomes for your every decision, really, your relationships, your business, your health, your time.
Yeah.
You know, time and money, those are the two parts that are measurable. That's the numbers. But even if people have lots of time and lots of money, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be happy.
Agreed.
You could have both, and you could live in that state of excitement and wonder and joy. No matter how big we get in this body, there's still a little kid inside that just wants to play.
Absolutely.
Life is magic. And
yeah, that is interesting. If you're just making the right decision every time, I mean, that can take you really far.
well, we're bringing the science to spirit and putting those two together. And all I can say is it's an amazing show to watch. I'm having so much fun.
I bet. And it's cool to see you bring the two together because there's a lot of divide between those two communities.
They're supposed to work together, but at the same time, it's very easy to be at odds because they have contrasting views. But that's like right hemisphere and left hemispheres of our brain. If we can integrate and become whole-brained, we get the best of both. I mean, if you're going to choose advisors, do you want the person that's so logical that they can't have any fun? Or do you want the person that's super fun and so playful, but don't expect them to put a bill in the mail on time?
Yeah.
Well, who do you trust?
Probably the logical.
But it's less fun.
Yeah, it's less fun, but I want to make money.
I totally get that. What if you could get both of them to work together?
That'd be cool, yeah. If it was the same result and it was fun, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, I think that people pay a lot of money for experiences because experiences, money can come and go, but the experiences that we get are the most valuable things that we can ever have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an experience that's worth paying for, you're willing to give up the numbers to have the joy and the passion and the love, right? Why not have both? It's not an either or, it's a and then. And it's fun.
Yeah. No, I'm about it. I think you need fun in life. You can't just make money all day.
What do you do with all the money?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have fun.
You try to have fun with it, but
Wow, you could do both.
yeah. What do you think about meditation? Is that something you incorporate in your practice?
Well, this is a very important thing in what we do because in a nutshell, our brains are going so fast, they're missing the 40 billion bits because we're adult waking consciousness. And the real purpose of meditation, so many meditation systems out there, they're all amazing. Just like martial arts, as long as you're doing something, even just sitting quietly for 1 minute and trying not to listen to all the advertisements or this, that, or whatever that's coming at you and everybody trying to steal your attention, you just listen. But we're all headed in the same direction. We're all allies and we're all doing great things. I love all meditation. What we figured out how to do with this is basically get the cheat codes and the shortcuts to get the result faster. I mean, if you enjoy sitting for an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours and just being lost in time and space, that's awesome. But please continue doing that. But if you could flip the switches in 5 minutes and then spend 55 minutes playing and applying it and making fun in your life with that result, is that something you'd want to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like what we do is we amplify the signal so much that it's yelling at you instead of whispering at you. We get the same results, but at a much higher level because we go faster. We literally make meditation fast and fun, which is important for me because I'm a really high energy person.
Yeah.
So to sit still for any period of time, my body talks to me. I get wandering itches. My monkey mind is always going crazy. The royal family literally figured out a way to make this fast and fun and flip the switches really quick. So then you get on and you actually have superpowers that you get to use and apply in all kinds of different ways throughout your life. And so we're all doing the same thing. We're all going the same direction. We're all allies. There really is no better or no worse.
Yeah.
It's just, what is your outcome? What is it that you really want to get?
Absolutely. So how long are your training sessions? I know Dylan, our mutual friend, has taken your class, right?
Yes. Well, basically, I'm the only person ever that has been given permission from the royal family to modify from the traditional system. It used to take 20 years to get all of this information. Wow. But I literally lived there for 6 months with the royal family, and I'm the highest ranking outsider that has ever been in the history of the art. So they literally kind of adopted me and gave me permission to do whatever it takes to keep my promise to help them share it with the Western world. And I literally figured out how to take that 20 years and by approaching it as science and saying, okay, hey, if I move some things around, I can flip the switches faster. And basically, in 5 days, I can get 100% accuracy, 90% of the time with the targets for, when I say 100% of the participants in 5 days. And that's something that even in Indonesia, after 20 years, they can only get 1 out of 10.
Dang.
So we do 5-day immersive trainings. I actually just launched an online system as well that you can start your journey there in the comfort of your own home at your own pace. But when we put it into the proper training environment where we're literally having a blast for 10 hours a day, and I stack up all the lessons. So the technology is push this button, push this button, push this button. Before the screen times out, if it was your phone, you push them all while the screen's still on. We turn on all those things really quickly. And people are able to navigate obstacle courses, do different colors, find targets. And so 5 days is the immersive programs.
Incredible.
You could start at home. We actually have a free energy intro that you can visit VibraVision.com, and they have a little sign up thing. You can try it.
Yeah.
And even if you been the highest ranking master of another system and you have tons of energy experience, this one little exercise will blow your mind. But if you've never experienced anything, that's even better, because then you come in and this is your first taste. It's like going straight to the Super Bowl without having to play the other games in the normal season.
There's people driving go-karts in the video you sent me blindfolded.
Oh, yes. Well, so those are some advanced athletes, basically. We call them Vibra Vision athletes, because someday we want to make this into a sport where it's like, let's say, American Ninja Warrior. We run obstacle courses and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but we're all going to be doing it blindfolded.
That'd be cool. I would watch that.
Wow, it's coming.
Yeah, so there's levels to it. Those are people that have been training probably for years.
Yeah, well, they were actually part of my pilot program, where it took me a little while to figure out how to put all of the pieces together in the right order, push the button, and get the result. Now, literally what it took them a year to get to, I'm able to create in that 5 days. So we go through level 1 and then level 2, level 3, but we have auxiliary programs. We're really developing this to be for everybody, because practicing this, once again, seeing without our eyes is just one part of it. But every single person that practices this experiences amazing things in their life. It's like actually delivering the message of what this is kind of challenging, because it's kind of like Pepto-Bismol for life. Do you remember the old Pepto-Bismol?
The pink stuff?
Commercial? Yeah, the pink stuff. If you have upset stomach, and they go down this huge list, drink the pink stuff.
Yeah.
It fixes everything. Well, for our physical bodies, this literally is the ultimate cross trainer for any athlete. That's why they use it in the military.
Mm.
Because in 5 minutes of doing these exercises, we can get a better physiological effect to the body than 45 minutes of cardio, workout, warm-up, cool down, stretching, all the things. We start generating more energy inside of our body. We quit getting sick. We quit getting tired. We quit getting sore. So for anybody that's involved in any type of athletic ability or competition or sport, this is the ultimate cross trainer for you. But if you're not an athlete, and let's say you've been injured or you're in the process of healing from some type of thing, it really doesn't matter what stage or state of life you're in. This heals us from the inside because we're giving it more electricity. It knows what to do with it. Like when we get a cut, we don't have to think about sending collagen and protein to there to make a scab. It knows what to do. We just need to give it what it needs. Like a plant, you feed, water, and fertilize it, it's going to do what it does. And so I actually have a friend in Indonesia that's doing the studies right now where he is literally reversing a whole bunch of different stage 4 cancers, diabetes, even lengthening telomeres and doing anti-aging, all just from doing this practice because it gives us what we need.
Wow.
On the mental aspect, I mean, physical is very important because if we're in pain, we're going to be stressed. But there's so many other causes of stress. And this literally is the shortcut to flipping the switch to finding your inner peace and changing your brain waves, to find the calm within the storm, so to speak. And so we have a lot of soldiers that have PTSD and things like that are able to finally find peace and find calm. But I mean, the truth is we're all living a stressful life because this is a fast-paced, busy world. It's different than anything that humanity's ever done before. We still have to find food and shelter, just in different ways. And so by doing this, every single person that has participated in any other meditation, and I mean any that I've ever seen, they all just after the first day say, this is so next level for finding who they
only
are.
5 minutes, you said?
Well, actually for the immersion, after the first day of the immersion.
Got it.
But every single person that just does the free energy intro class, doesn't matter what they've done, they will definitely be feeling it.
I need to look into that. I play basketball, so anything to give me an edge,
Well, I got something for you, buddy.
Yeah? Oh, I'm going to be dunking with your training.
Okay, let's go.
I love it, man. Well, when's the next workshop you got going?
July 12th through 16th is going to be the next level 1.
Okay.
So in order to get into that, you just hit the website, you can do the free course, and then there's options to sign up for it right there.
Cool. We'll link it below. Anything else you want to close off with or promote?
You can find us on social media, or actually you can check out VibraVision.com. That's VIBRA, like vibration, VibraVision.com. We're also on social media, and please come have fun with us.
Cool. We'll link everything in the description. Thanks for coming on and demonstrating your powers, man. That was cool.
I hope that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're interested, definitely check out the links below. See you next time.